And we're off. It's a month before Election Day, and Donald Trump had been on a roll. Now he's stumbled. His, quote, locker room talk has a growing number of Republicans demanding he step aside and let Mike Pence carry the torch instead. The stakes could not be any higher ahead of tomorrow's town hall debate in St. Louis. Jim Osman is the D.C. Bureau Chief and Media General. Welcome this afternoon. Appreciate having you. Play devil's advocate for a second. When John Kasich and other establishment Republicans are coming out now today and saying, I'm never going to vote for Donald Trump, we already knew that. At what point will the dam break? If Kasich says I don't vote for him, I don't think that breaks the dam. What is the pressure point on Donald Trump?
I mean, I think Speaker Paul Ryan, if he came out and said, you know, I will not support him in any way, I think that may be it. We're seeing a tsunami hasn't started, but we're seeing hour by hour more and more folks coming out. We saw Hugh Hewitt. We saw the Congresswoman from Alabama.
Was saying there's more coming.
Right. And so to see him, he's very significant. The Congresswoman Roby out of Alabama, you know, Republican, a red Republican state. I think that the more that we see those today, this could be a totally different story by tomorrow.
Well, in a normal election year, you would have establishment Republicans coming out against a Republican nominee with this force, and you would say he's got to get out. But this is not a normal election year, and I wonder if the Trump supporters, the blue-collar workers out there who support him, might dig in more when they see establishment Republicans in Washington saying, I don't like Donald Trump. There are people across the country who might like that.
Well, I mean, I've seen it on Facebook today. People I know who are ardent Trump supporters who were doubling down, you know, and saying, well, it wasn't as bad as what Bill Clinton said, on and on and on. And I think that's it. I think that his supporters aren't going anywhere. It's really more in the middle.
And that may be why we're hearing Donald Trump telling the Washington Post and the Wall Street Journal today, I'm not going anywhere, because he's hearing from supporters saying, double down. Now, we like having you on in part because not just your insights, but you bring the electoral map. And before all of this happened, you were looking very closely at the polling in these key battlegrounds, and the picture was not good for Donald Trump even before this weekend.
Well, it wasn't, and I think you asked me why, and I think one of the reasons, the Hispanic vote and the women vote. And, you know, the Republican Party in 2012 did a postmortem. Basically said we need to do better with women and Hispanics. Well, they're not, and this just makes it all that much worse. Florida, I think the Hispanic vote. Pennsylvania, the suburbs of Philadelphia, Bucks and Montgomery counties, a lot of those women have bailed on him already. He was already 40-point difference between Hillary and Donald Trump. I think that you may see a further erosion. There are quite a few women in Bucks and Montgomery counties who are Republicans and have voted Republican that I think will either vote for Hillary or stay home.
I think very interesting, and on top of that, the most interesting statement we've gotten today is from Mike Pence, his running mate, who says he was offended by the words. We've heard other Republicans say that, but the last line, quote, we pray for his family and look forward to the opportunity he has to show what is in his heart when he goes before the nation tomorrow night. My point being, what's really remarkable is what Mike Pence does not say. He does not say, I still support the man at the top of the ticket. And if anything, Jim, it seems like he's putting more pressure on Donald Trump. I want to hear what he says before the American people tomorrow night.
Ed, do you know what that sounds like, that statement? Somebody that's running for president in 2020. Just like the debate the other night, right? I mean, that's the announcement of somebody that may think Donald Trump is going to lose and he's going to want to run in 2020. I think it puts a lot of pressure on Trump tomorrow night, and it makes me wonder, you know, there's talking about, will Trump drop out? Does anybody ask the question, will Pence say, see ya?
And what about what Donald Trump does today? Mike Pence putting the pressure, what will you tell the American people tomorrow night? We had our own Dana Perino on a short time ago as a former White House press secretary saying that maybe he should come out today, have a news conference, or give some address to the American people, and then move on and pivot tomorrow night.
The problem is that he can not give an apology without making an excuse. And there's a Ben Franklin quote, don't ruin an apology with an excuse. And that's what he's done. He cannot come out and just say, listen, I'm asking for your forgiveness. There's a difference between an apology and I'm asking you for your forgiveness. And I think that's what he needs to do without then saying, and by the way, I'm going to bring up Bill Clinton.
There's also a saying, I can't remember who said it, but when you're in a hole, stop digging.
Right.
So that might be another one as well. Jim Osman bringing a lot of great analysis and insights this morning and afternoon. We appreciate it.
Thanks, Ed. Thank you.